topic of this track is solving the multimedia puzzle. So just to give you a perspective of what it is that we're trying to discuss today, one of the challenges to building portable and wired multimedia devices includes achieving audio quality that matches the HD and 3D video found on both types of devices. Another challenge is determining what additional functionality to add to these devices. Smartphones functionality include new sensors, GPS, accelerometers, gyroscopes, as well as biometric sensors. This panel is going to explore the functionality and examine the challenges to incorporating these aspects. So with that, my first question is, in the aspect of multimedia, the end all is what meets all, which is the user experience. So what in your opinion, so I'd like to go through and ask each of the panelists. We'll start this time with Georgie, and then we'll mix it up a little bit. What defines a great multimedia experience for consumers from your perspective?
Thank you. For multimedia, what I think is most important for end users, especially those on mobile devices, is that they will receive the multimedia content that they're looking for without having to worry about exactly which codecs they need to deal with or worry about bandwidth associated with the particular location they're in or the network that they're on. The other issue is, at least in the United States, we're seeing a lot of carriers currently trying to limit the amount of bandwidth that a customer is allowed to receive per month for a certain fixed rate. That's rather unusual for people who are used to the internet with an all-you-can-eat type plan. So as I think in the future we're going to need to see things change so that users don't have to monitor what they're doing on their devices and worry about using the applications, especially the bandwidth intensive multimedia applications.
Thank you. Well, IMEC as a research institute, we are not so much in the applications itself, rather in the supporting technology of that. In our vision, multimedia should be seamless. Yeah? I can capitalize on what you just mentioned. Users should not worry, okay, do I need to use my Bluetooth functionality now? Should I switch to WiMAX? Should I do this? Should I do that? The technology should do that for you. Yeah? So that's convenience. Yeah? Second point for multimedia is the use of scarce resources. Yeah? That can be resources in various aspects. Yeah? You should not need to worry, okay, is my battery almost empty? Do I need to charge this one? Do I need to bother about audio quality? The technology should do that for you. Yeah? It should have some kind of intelligence, intelligent electronics, I would call it. Yeah? So that's what the technology should be supportive of. And well, I think I showed several examples of such supportive technology. There's a lot of more to tell, but in our vision, that is user experience for simple and efficient multimedia.
So I think, there's many aspects to a great multimedia experience, but obviously I think a big part of it is the actual experience on the device itself. And I think that's audio, but it's also video. I think one of the big disappointments for a lot of people especially on mobile devices or a lot of devices is actually the video performance. Either the video performance is not good, or it doesn't scale properly to the screen, or is pixelated, or a number of different reasons. So I think having a good smooth video performance that's adjusted well to the screen is very important. That is combined with, of course, a good audio experience. Because if you watch a piece of video or you purchase a piece of video and it looks terrible on your device, well then you're never really going to do that again. So I think that's very key.
Thank you very much. I'd like to invite some questions from the audience.
Hello everybody. 我想说用中文问问题，那等一下麻烦翻译一下。就是说现在这个行动装置是已经渐趋普遍跟流行， 然后这个行动装置里边呢，也倾向于会内建一个 OS， 就像这个 Android。那我现在的问题说，在这种行动装置里边具备这个 OS 系统的这样一个系统里一个装置里边呢，它对于这个 memory 的要求的有哪些？比如说，我说对 memory 的 density 大小的要求，对 memory 的这个 bandwidth 大小的要求，或者是说对 memory 有没有其他的一些特别的需求？这方面不知道这个从 OS vendor 或是系统商 system maker 的这种角度来看的话，这个看法是怎么样？
Memory and the resource constraint for device running Android and some similar operating system.
We talked about different other aspects about, a gentleman asked the question, well, what's the future of smart devices? What's it going to look like? So what I'd like to ask is, what do each of you see from your, let's take it to the core, from your experience, from the products that you work on, the area that you address, what do you see as a barrier to getting us to this ideal device? So first aspect is identifying the barrier. And do you have a suggestion as far as whether it's going to take a disruptive technology or something that maybe we have that hasn't been used to get us there? So how are we going to get to this smart device? We all have this vision of what it might look like, but how do we get there? Do you want to start, Georgie?
From my experience, since I do a lot of multimedia on mobile, one of the primary issues I have is with the bandwidth associated with delivering the data I have down to the application and to the device. Since I am interested in sending data around the world to people wherever they might be, the biggest issue I have is, can I actually send data to a traveler in France, to a traveler in South America, to a traveler in South Africa as easily as I would to a street corner in Taipei? Currently that's not possible because of all the variations between the different countries and the way they deliver data. So for me, from my point of view, what I would love to see would be better interaction among the governments so that we actually can send high-speed data across the world to everyone and have that sort of interaction for every person. I think that that's going to be even more difficult in getting the technology in place, though. So my dream would be that we would have a standard platform for all countries and that they would allow their users in the country to interact with the internet as freely as we would love them to.
Thank you. I can be short. From our experience, it's imagination. We talk a lot with CTOs, with R&D managers, and they all say, well, yeah, we want to innovate. We want to bring out innovative products with new features, with nobody has released them before. And we want to focus on that. We want to grab market share. Then at the same time, if you ask them, okay, will you free up some resources to work with us, to work on innovative technologies, to absorb them in your company so you can you can develop products out of that? They say, hell no, we need those engineers. Economy is gearing up. We have customers yelling for mobile phones, for whatever kind of smart device.
I think there's a lot of work going on in standards bodies such as DEC to try to make, or things like managed copy so that people, if they buy a piece of content, they can have that portability across devices. But that's a huge challenge for all of us. That means things like codec support, common codec support, DRM, standardization, things like that. I think that's one of the largest challenges in front of us, but I think if we can solve that challenge, I think that opens up a great doorway for consumers where they can, purchase the content they want and then store it and play it on the devices they want, even if they change devices. I think that's a great opportunity, but also something for us to all work